Yeah. This law, the nature restoration law, is a very modest thing, and all of the targets and objectives of it are already, for the most part, things that we've already agreed to and adopted here in this country. And as has been said, the controversial issue of re-wetting is going to be accounted for in its vast, vast majority on state lands. I do think it is reasonable that farmers who think re-wetting that might affect their adjoining lands should get assurances of support from the government. I think that is a reasonable request, but it is certainly no reason to oppose this law. And I have to say, beware of politicians who speak out of both sides of their mouth. I do not understand what the government is up to here. The government says it's serious about biodiversity, and then Fine Gael, a part of the European People's Party, have just pulled out of the discussions, and we have Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael backbenchers essentially rallying against this very, very modest measure. So there's games being played for political purposes, and I also say beware of politicians who keep on going on about the urban-rural divide. Right? The big divide in this country is between the poor, whether they are small and struggling farmers in rural areas, and the poor in urban areas, and the rich that exist both in urban and rural areas. That is the real division. And if you want an understanding of what's destroying biodiversity and what threatens it, it is the greed of big agri-business, but also rich corporations generally, who want to invest in industrial forms of forestry that destroy biodiversity, that are bad for water and soil quality, that do nothing to restore nature, in fact destroy nature. It's all about money. That's the common thread, and money for the few, not for the ordinary farmer. So absolutely, for small farmers, we need a just transition. We need funding to ensure that they are paid and rewarded for enhancing biodiversity and restoring nature, and their lack of trust in the government is understandable, but it should not be exploited in a cynical way by people who are just playing political games with a very, very serious issue of the destruction of biodiversity which threatens all of humanity.
Now, Deputy Richard.